Greetings. Hi, I'm Dr. Walter Jacobson, a board certified psychiatrist. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about how God is, she said, God is within us. God is within each of us. That was the message, okay? At that, and I actually disagree. And I think it's interesting because that speaks to our egocentricity. And our sense of like arrogance, so to speak. I don't think God is within us. I believe we are within God. Yeah. I believe that God is all there is. God is, if you want to look at it as God is one big, blanket, one big piece of fabric, and we are threads in that one big fabric. We are each threads in the fabric. So it's not that God is in us. We are a part of God. Okay. And being a part of God, though, means, though, that we have all the attributes of God. And this is something that most people probably are not going to want to buy into or believe, or they'll think this is blasphemous. But, I do believe when it says that God created us in His image, it wasn't His image as a guy, with arms and legs, as a human being with arms and legs and a face and a nose and funny ears and a beard. No, it's no. The image is really consciousness. God created us. God is consciousness, and He just created more consciousness. God is love. He created more love. We are love. We are consciousness. And when Christ says in the New Testament, if you have faith, you can move mountains. When He says all these things that I have done, you can do and more, talking about miracles, talking about healing the sick and raising the dead and turning water into wine and multiplying the fish and the loaves of bread. If you believe this stuff and take it seriously, then we have all that we are part of God, and He created us with all of the same potentials and talents that He has, and that we can go forth and do great works and have great creations and miracles as well. So it's kind of egocentric when we say, well, God is within us. It's like, well, we're the center of the universe, and God's in there somewhere. If we just can peel it away long enough and go deep enough, and listen more closely, we'll find Him in there somewhere. Where did I put that? Yeah. No. No. Yeah, the reason why we think that we have to go deep inside our unconscious to find God is because our ego is so busy. There's so much noise. There's so much static. There's so much crap jangling around in our heads. So many ego messages, inner critics, that the voice of God is like. You can't even hear it. You can't even hear its voice. You can't hear it because there's so much noise that our mind is generating, which is why it's a good idea to try to learn some form of mindfulness, some form of meditation, to still your mind, to turn off the noise, to turn off that inner dialogue for just a while. Because if you can calm down that inner landscape for just a while, you just may discover, a connection to God that you can tap into and feel and be. Joy comes from a release of ego. Joy comes from a release of noise. Joy comes from a release of judgment. If you want joy, real happiness, real inner peace, you got to get your mind quiet, and you've got to recognize your real priorities, not the priorities of ego, not the priorities of this crazy, wacky world, but the priorities of right-mindedness and righteous living. All right, I think that'll do for this one. Take care. Peace be with you. See you next time.